What's up, guys? I'm here with the incomparable Dan and recent big winner, third and Schlong, Bryce. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
I mean, I couldn't be better right now. Hot as the fucking sun out here.
Yeah, no shit.
Mr.
$500,000 in the last week for Bryce. So you're feeling yourself. What did you do last night to celebrate another win?
I did the most Italian thing possible. We went out and got pizza at like this speakeasy bar and got drunk. It was wonderful.
Okay, that is very Italian.
Mamma mia.
Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here. Thanks for asking me to come on.
I see you've added a new accessory. Let's see it.
Got a little dice. Got a little spooky dice. It's got a skull.
Oh, I like that.
Adrian made it for me.
Might have to cop one for myself.
Yeah, site goes live on Halloween, so I'll be sharing that one.
Yeah.
We're definitely copying one for Benair with that comment.
Benair, we'll get you one of Adrian's one of Adrian's dice earrings or one of her other accessories so that you can look tight as well.
Yeah,
I know you struggle with the women sometimes. But yeah, no, we're here to discuss a 4-game NBA slate in which we have to rely on Steve Kerr in the late game, which fucking sucks because Steve Kerr sucks both as a person and as a coach. So, what do you guys think about having to rely on what Steve Kerr is going to do on this slate? We'll start with Dan.
Not great. I was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to come on because, usually I do like the MMA show. I like violence. And then I saw that Draymond is going to be playing without Curry. So I think we're going to see some fist flying. I think we're going to get an ejection. So I'm excited for some basketball violence.
Yeah. Also, Joe Mazzulla said that he wants to bring fighting back to the NBA.
He's just like me for real.
Yeah. James Johnson's going to get the biggest contract in the offseason.
Yeah, James Johnson.
I loved when the Pacers signed him just because people were like messing with Halliburton. And then no one messed with him the rest of the season simply because James is on the team.
When he retires, he's going to fight once in the UFC. That's my guess. My guess is when James Johnson is
I think he does too. He's too good not to.
He will fight once in the UFC, and it'll be fucking great. But yeah,
that's the crossover that we all need.
Yes, Bryce, what do you think about Golden State tonight?
I really like the Warriors. I think you kind of have to play like a minimum amount of them. They're in such a good spot. It's like, trusting Steve Kerr sucks, but like when he has limited options, I feel like the rotation's like easier to guess. There's still probably like one or two players that get screwed, but it's hard for me to see it. Like, I think at a minimum 2 or 3 get there at these prices.
I totally agree with you. And, running my native settings, I'm generally a guy that only plays 3 from one team, but with every guy on the team being 6K or lower on DK, it's tough to get off of those 4 Warrior builds, especially when you have guys like Moses Moody, who likely starts, and he's way down in the 3Ks, and I'm projecting him like in the mid-20s. 4-game slate, it's hard to get off of those. So I do like the Warriors a lot. My core on the site is 4 Warriors on both sites on DraftKings and FanDuel. I think they're most of the best plays. People may say, oh, they don't have any scorers. Buddy Hield's the only guy who can shoot, and this, that, and the other. But like, ultimately, their team total is, pretty high. Like not like crazy high, but like, 108, 109, something like that. Somebody has to fucking score.
Yeah, it's like you almost have to find ways of getting different, like outside of the Warriors. Like in the NBA, there's good chalk and bad chalk. I think pretty much every Warrior is good chalk tonight. I would say the worst chalk of them is probably Buddy Hield. I think that he's going to be the most over-owned player of the bunch. My favorites are Moses Moody, Kuminga. I think those are like the 2 that stand out. Pods is up there for me as well. I like the rest of them. I even like Draymond tonight. So, and I never really liked Draymond. Obviously, I like him a little bit more on FanDuel, where he can just run into like a huge stock game. If he's like running the court and initiating offense. So that's kind of how I would rank them tonight. But even like Trace Jackson Davis is in play. Like, I think pretty much the entire team that's going to play is in play. I like getting different with like your studs tonight. And like, no, I would not play 5 Warriors. I think that's something that people might do tonight. It's like play 5 Warriors and then jam in 3 studs. I think would be like the chalk build tonight.
So Dan, what do you think about some of those guys for the Warriors that are, I guess, more veterans who might not play, like have pretty much no upside for 35, 40 minutes? You know, your Draymonds and your buddies where you know they're going to play 28, 29, but that's it. Do you like them or are you against that?
I think it's fine. I think, like, you're going to mix them in, obviously. Like, they're shorthanded. And whenever you have a shorthanded team, it's like, it's the most projectable sport, but there's always going to be variance inherent to any sporting event. So I'm basically just going to be trying to jam in like the best values. What I have is best tournament values. I'm playing on FanDuel. I've been playing on FanDuel mostly. Right now for me, I'm getting the most of Tracy Jackson Davis, Moses Moody, and Draymond is coming in. Like, I'm getting him like 3rd or 4th after Buddy Hield. So
you have Buddy Hield at the top.
I've got Buddy Hield at 3rd behind Tracy Jackson and Moses Moody. Yeah. So I'm just jamming in like the values so I can get, like Bryce already said, like different at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see
and
here.
When I was referencing Buddy Hield, that was more in like regards to like my projected ownership versus like the field's projected ownership.
Right.
So like I still think Buddy's a good play. Like I still have, let's look at FanDuel for example. I still have like 35% healed, like 30% healed. Like I'm just not playing him a ton. And I think that on DraftKings, he's stronger, obviously, because he's so scoring dependent. So that's kind of like where I'm a little different than the field, I would think.
Yeah, Buddy, he's just scoring in stocks. So like FanDuel, fits him a lot better because he doesn't turn the ball over a lot because he doesn't dribble. So I definitely like Buddy more on FanDuel. Obviously, all of this changes if Buddy starts, but like we won't know until like a significant portion of our player pool is locked, at 10 o'clock or whenever the fuck the game is. So it's kind of a tough situation with Kerr being the way that he is. So I mean, also he could start guys and then not play them. Like he does, like he thinks he's fucking a genius because he won a bunch of titles because Durant went there. So he does weird shit, even though he probably shouldn't and probably isn't smart enough to do it. But see some comments here. Special appearance by Dan with the Saquon earring. There we go. JBC Dodgers sweep. No, I like the Yankees tonight. Unfortunately. Am I using a straw meant for ants? Yes, my straw is significantly smaller today, but when the football show comes back around, by the way, get your RPS Yeti from the store and the site. But no, I'm back to a slightly smaller straw today. All right. Any chance Warriors ball boy gets some run tonight? Probably. That's Lindy Waters. I assume Lindy Waters is the Warriors ball boy, and he probably will get a little run tonight. All right. So let's start with the top of the board on DraftKings, and I'm going to separate these two from everybody else just because they're $2,000, more than everybody else in salary. Between Luka and Jokic, how are you feeling about those two? Dan, start with you.
I prefer Jokic. Luka. I have Jokic rating out much better. I go much more off of just like straight numbers and what I see from there. Cause obviously, my no ball for basketball is slightly lacking, but I mean, I can look at fucking numbers and make decisions that way. And I like Jokic a lot more than I like Luka here. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Luka's props are a lot lower with him coming on the back-to-back traveling from Dallas back up to Minneapolis. Bryce, what do you think? I
prefer Jokic as well. I mean, the props do it pretty well. I think a lot of my builds are actually going to have like a lot of mid-tier, like the second tier of studs, like the Anthony, like Ant Edwards. I think the Kings guys are going to go super under-owned relative to like what I think their optimal percentage is here. I like Laurie as well. So I'm kind of finding my way more on to those builds. But I do prefer Jokic to Luka here. It's not like a crazy strong take, But like, especially on FanDuel where I have a lot of action tonight, it's I'm almost always under Luka there just because like it's hard for him to run into like a massive stock game and he turns the ball over so much. Like he could go like 30, 15, and 10 and, you know, have 10 turnovers and not get there for his price.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
And,
Luka's a tournament value.
sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I was just saying Luka rates out like pretty poorly for me as like a tournament value on FanDuel for all the reasons mentioned.
I totally agree with all of that. I suspect that I'll be under on both of them, even though Jokic is in my core. I feel like people are going to get there with how many cheap Warriors there are. So, you know, I'm only landing on high 20s on Jokic and in the mid-teens on Luka. I assume this is similar to what Bryce said, that I will have a higher majority of builds with the lower tier studs, De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, those types, than the high lows with Luka and so forth, just because I don't see Luka making value. Although on a 4-game slate, you know, there is an off chance that if he scores 55, he could be optimal, you know, like a middling game-ish, like where he doesn't scale high, just because if the whole slate is low scoring, then that could be something that's necessary. So we'll go to the next range. We have between 9,300 and we'll go down to Markin and 8K. Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, Fox, Zion, Ingram, and Lauri Markkanen. How do you feel about that range of players, Bryce? You can rank them or talk about them. Go ahead.
So I kind of have like I'm going to put the Pelicans guys at the bottom here. I think that they kind of get overplayed simply because like people love to force run backs. I don't think you need to run like, say, a 3-man Warrior stack back. So like I think a lot of people are going to unnecessarily force run backs tonight, and that's going to cause those guys to be overowned. So relative to the field, I'm going to be under on those two. I'm almost certain about that. And then ranking the other 4, I have an Ant 1, Sabonis 2, Fox 3, and Lauri 4. And then the Pelicans guys below that. But I don't think there's a whole lot separating the top 3. I would rank it like the Kings guys and Ant up here, and then like Lauri in the middle, and then the Pelicans guys here. It's not like I'm going to I'm not flat fading the Pelicans or anything. I just think that like Pelicans run backs go overowned tonight.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I never consider anything like game stacks, run backs. Like we're not doing groups, we're not doing rules, especially on a 4-gamer. For me, on FanDuel specifically, like that range, if you want to go from like, I guess that range would be about 97 to what was the bottom end of that range that you were saying?
Yeah, your Ingrams, your McCollums, your Markkanen, so, you know, include whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like De'Aaron Fox is going to be like a priority there for me. And then, you know, over to Edwards. Sabonis rates out well, but it's going to be tough because I'm definitely going to be trying to get to more Jokic there, and you only have one center spot on FanDuel. After that, I got Markkanen, Cam Thomas. If you want to go down a little bit lower, you've got, that's probably a little too low, but, you know, Gobert rates out well as well. McCollum, basically in that order.
Let's see here. Gridiron Beauty says, what 3-4 core on FanDuel, Dan?
3-4 core. I mean, let me see what I got here. I've got Tracy Jackson, I got Moody, I got Fox and Johnson at the moment as I'm running stuff, and just trying to force in more Warriors, more cheap Warriors guys.
Yeah, I love that you call him Tracy. It's my favorite thing now. I'm going to start calling him Tracy instead of Trace.
Is it supposed to be Trace?
Yeah, it's Trace.
Okay.
But I'm going to call him Tracy now. So Tracy Jackson Davis.
He is now Tracy on the show, and I will get mad at you if you call him Trace.
So I will say this about Fox on FanDuel. He's the only like real, other than Luka and like your, like among the late games at least, he's the only pure point guard there. So if you need to have some pivotability later in the slate, Fox is going to be the only thing you can really move on or off of at point guard. So I do think a lot of the ownership is going to get there. But that's not to mean I don't like it, because I do love Fox. I have him in my FanDuel core. I think he's the best play at point guard, but just something to think about. Sato's asking for the Schlong core tonight. Let's hear it, Bryce.
Schlong core. All right, we're going to go with Ant Edwards, Sabonis, and then my favorite Warriors here are Moody, Kuminga, and let's do Tracy. I like Tracy tonight.
Tracy. Let's see here. JBC, I need a power forward shitter. You like Clowney or Finney Smith more? Whoever starts. Let's see. At the bottom at power forward, I'm going to give you a little off book here. Go with Kyle Anderson to get a little more minutes than normal off of the Warriors bench at sub 4K. I like Kyle Anderson more than
slow-mo play. I love that.
I like that. I like him more than Clowney. So I'd go with Kyle Anderson. Would you put Pods Healed in the guard spot, then pivot off Healed if he's not starting? I'm not like if you're going off of the Sabre projections or really anybody's projections right here, like the line that they have on Healed, the projection they have on Healed is for him not to start. So I don't know that you move too much if Healed isn't starting. The real move is whoever is starting instead of Healed, which I assume to be Moses Moody, will move up a lot. So I'm building in that Moses Moody is going to start. So I have like 60% Moses Moody already.
I'm assuming that they keep Healed off the bench here. You know,
they don't have any. They don't have any shooters.
They need this. They need the scoring in the second unit.
I mentioned to Dan before the show that if they don't bring Moody off the bench, you're looking at a bench mob of Kyle Anderson, Kevon Looney, Moody, Gary Payton. Like they've got nobody that can shoot. Like Healed has to me, Healed has to come off the bench again. Kerr is dumb, so I don't know if he'll go that route. But I think they need to separate Healed from the starters just because there's a lack of shot creation. Personal opinion.
I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, especially with the way Kerr runs his rotations, like he's not going to stagger these guys in the starting unit enough to like stay in with the second unit to like be that scorer. I do think if Healed starts, I think you want to get more of them though.
All in. If Healed starts, it's all in.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like, am I taking Healed out? It's, am I going to try and squeeze him in if I don't have him and he starts? Is kind of like where I'm at.
Yeah. If we get that lineup a little earlier than we expect and you can jam Healed if he starts, that's the move. But I suspect he's coming off the bench. And so I'm only 40-50%-ish. Christian Leone, Conley at 4,400. Dude, the thing is his minute upside is just not there. He's old. They're not going to play him very much early in the season. Even if he hard nuts early, he could do worse than some of these Warriors guys. I'm just not that interested. I don't know how you feel about it, Bryce.
I'm not super interested either. One thing I am interested in, I really like Schroeder tonight.
Denise Schroeder.
Yeah, I think that he's going to go way overlooked here with some of this Warriors value, and he's one of my favorite like alternative plays in the same range to these guys.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of Schroeder on FanDuel as well. He's right now really.
Yeah,
well.
I think he's like good in addition to the Warriors guys, or like a direct pivot off some of the guard chalk if you want to play like, some other Warriors. Like I would play like 3 to 4 Warriors on your team regardless, but he can get you off like some of the chalkier guards.
Let's see. Are we fading Pods? No, Pods is my highest player other than Moody. To me, Pods is kind of a given compared to the rest of the team. So that's why I probably haven't been mentioning him as much. But I do think that if you're playing just like 2 or 3 lineups, just lock him.
Yeah, Pods is my highest owned player. I just I kind of glanced over him a bit simply because like I think he's going to be the chalk from the Warriors here. So like I kind of wanted to highlight the guys I want to be higher on relative to the field.
Do you guys feel the same way about him on FanDuel? Because just numbers wise, he's not right now great for me, but I'm happy to bump him up.
I bumped him up a ton on FanDuel.
Okay.
So he's way up there for me. I've got him like 65% right now.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I just think if anybody on the Warriors has 35 to 40 minute upside, it's him. But other than that, nobody's getting more than 30 to 32.
Warriors will still run a 10-man rotation, probably, but you're taking out one of the highest usage players in the league.
And they don't have a single player that costs over 6K on DraftKings.
Yeah. And it's a 4-game slate. There's not like tons of alternatives here. I'm fine with them running a 10-man rotation. Even in a 10-man rotation, I think like 3 to 4 of these guys pop off. Is 4 Warriors too much? No. I wouldn't play more than 4. But yeah, I think you can definitely play 4. I am not playing any VC or Alvarado. I think there's just like such good value today. I don't really play 4 blowout run. In even if they get blowout run, like they're still not like guaranteed to be optimal. Like, because some of these Warriors are going to score massive.
Let's see here. Schlong compare pods to Hawkins, excluding whether starting.
I mean, pods is like one of the absolute best plays on the slate. I think Hawkins goes over-owned with like how hot he's been shooting the ball. So
Totally agree.
This is a classic spot for me, like early in the season, like guys who are shooting the ball at like ridiculous clips. The field hops on and I like to hop off.
So do you still play Moody if he doesn't start? Yes, but not as much. If he doesn't start, I think that he's only going to play like 25, 26 minutes. If he starts, I think he's in the 30s. But these games typically, Kerr has started. Are you drinking a giant Peroni again?
I drink 2 of these a day.
No, but why is it not a Peroni?
Because it's not lock yet. Unlike some people, I don't normally drink before lock. Post lock is a different story, and the champagne yesterday was certainly an aberration. But
yeah, I drank half a glass of that fucking Andre and then just threw out the rest of the bottle.
Bro, I drank that whole bottle yesterday. I never drink champagne. My stomach felt like yours probably does every day. It was in an absolute knot.
But yes, I totally agree with Bryce. I think that Hawkins is one of the worst plays on the slate. He's been very hot. I think he's overpriced. I don't like it at all. So
I'm getting 0 Hawkins on FanDuel.
Don't like it.
None.
Yeah, I think I have 3 out of 150 Hawkins teams. Like, I didn't eliminate him from the pool, but if he does well, I'm likely not in for a good night.
Yeah, let's see. Schlong on DK, is it okay to play Cam and Schroeder in the same lineup, or better to just pick one?
I think you can definitely play them together.
Yeah.
Is Gary Payton going underlooked? Well, he only really had those big offensive games when he was in Washington. I don't see him shooting the ball a lot, even though all those guys he's playing with don't shoot the ball either. I also don't think that he's live for big minutes just because of his injury history. I don't think that they'll push him at all. So I'm not like, I have Gary Payton, but I'm not like making him a priority.
If you're gonna play him, I would play him on FanDuel as opposed to DraftKings, where like he can run into like a 5 steal game in like 20 minutes and get there.
Yeah.
But no, he's like very down on the Warriors priority list for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Favorite utility for DK GPP with 7,700 left. Not sure if I love Cam Thomas, but I can be talked into him. I would just play Cam Thomas. I
think Kyrie's a decent option if you don't like Cam Thomas.
Yeah. Kyrie, Randall's good. McCollum. They're all 4 of them. I don't mind any of them. Cam Thomas, I think, has the highest ceiling, but they're all good plays. Would you lock pod in a winner take all? Yes. How much exposure on Keegan and Cam Thomas? All right. So on DraftKings, I'm looking at 25% on Keegan Murray, and Cam Thomas, I am at 20. On FanDuel, I've got 16% Cam Thomas at 8K, and then Keegan Murray at 6,500, 14%. Dan, do you view that much differently?
Sorry, say that again.
How much exposure do you have on Keegan and Cam Thomas?
Keegan and Cam Thomas. Keegan. Oops, sorry. Keegan right now I got 18% on FanDuel, and Cam I got like 27.
Okay, so you're higher than I am on Cam over there. Yeah. Bryce, you feel similarly?
100%. Totally agree with you on that. Schroeder over Hield on FanDuel. I actually like have them pretty even. So like if I was choosing in a single entry, I would have other Warriors in the team, but I would actually go Dennis here just to get a little different. Now if Hield's starting, you get kind of screwed. But I mean, I think we're all three of us are in agreement that like we're kind of making the bet that Hield's going to come off the bench here.
Yep.
Y'all fading Kuminga? No, he's my number one play.
Yeah, I think he's my third highest owned behind Pods and Moody here. But
John,
likely my highest leverage.
Let's see here. Any exposure to Noah Clowney? No, I don't have a whole lot. I don't know about you guys.
I have very little.
I think on a different slate, I'd be a little more interested. Like if we didn't have like all this elite Warriors value, but I just don't end up on a lot. I think it's close to a full fade for me. Pods for me on FanDuel over Clarkson.
Yeah,
I don't hate playing Clarkson in addition to Pods. I do kind of like the Clarkson play, but I think that Pods is going to be one of my biggest buys here.
Jokic. Thoughts on playing Collins Kessler together? I think that's fine.
I mean, I think these are the type of teams, and why I don't love playing NBA single entry. It's like these are the types of teams I can get in optimizers in like through Sims, but like if I'm clicking a team by myself, I'm probably never ever going to click that.
Makes sense. Do you like Gobert? I do like Rudy.
I like him more on FanDuel, I think.
Yeah, it's Rudy's always a better play on FanDuel. I'm getting nearly a quarter of him despite the center only trajectory over there. So Rudy's definitely more of a FanDuel play, but he is pretty much a guaranteed double-double, and that you get that bonus on DraftKings, so I don't mind him there. I just have him more on FanDuel. How much Sabonis you getting? DraftKings Sabonis, I am at 25%. FanDuel Sabonis, I am at 20%. What about you guys?
I have 24 on FanDuel Sabonis.
I'm close to 30. I think slightly under.
Okay.
So.
Okay, the 3-stack with Schroeder and Johnson, yes.
Yeah, I would not go more than 3 from any other team. Max 3 every team besides the Warriors, max 4 on them.
If I'm playing 2 lineups, can you lock Kuminga and Podziemski? Yes.
100%.
Y'all think Denver guys like MPJ and Brown can have a big game tonight? Porter Jr. can always, like, if he's hitting his threes, he can go, but he can also just bust. So I like him in MME generally. I'm not prioritizing him by any means, but he's in the pool. 15-20% for me. Dan, what about you?
Who's that?
Michael Porter.
Maga Porter Jr. Let's see.
Maga Porter.
Oh, I just had him. I lost him. I'm getting like 10% of him. I might need to bump that up just a little bit, but yeah, with everybody else, especially the Warriors guys.
I always like him better on DraftKings just because of the threes. It's all threes and threes and threes and threes. So
yeah, I'm not getting to much.
All right, let's see. Clarkson or Keontae George, same price. I would go with George personally. Bryce?
George for me, but I don't hate Clarkson.
You did win $100,000 off Clarkson last week.
I know. I have a soft spot for him.
All right, Derek. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, I also like George much more.
Yeah. Derek Lively and Gafford, same lineup. 4 games. I think you can do it. What about you guys?
It's not a rule that I made, but I'm not likely to have a lot of them.
It's not going to come up a lot. I don't have a lot of Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. I grouped nothing out, but I'm also not getting to them basically.
That's not something that I would like click in, but it's also like, I'm trying to beat like 30,000 people tonight.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm eliminating either. Like if I was clicking it in myself, I would probably switch it around.
Do you guys love Brown and Looney as paydowns? No.
I think Looney's one of my least favorite Warriors.
So we got Clowney starting for the Nets.
Okay, so that changes everything. Clowney starting for the Nets will that makes him a borderline lock to me. Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I'm rerunning right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's a lock, but it's definitely going to knock like my trace exposure and stuff like that.
Tracy.
Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy. They were saying, they've been steadily bumping up Claxton's minutes, so this is kind of surprising that they would go to Clowney to start. But, now that that's happening, I don't see how you get around playing him. You have to. I'm going to lock him.
All right, you talked me into it. So yeah, that kind of switches things.
So now I'm going into the core now and changing my core to get Clowney in there. I'm going to remove Buddy Hield and put Clowney in.
How many minutes are you giving Clowney?
Can go with what? I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm just going to hit the lock button. But I would guess what? 28?
A projection for Clowney?
No, minutes.
Oh, yes. High mid high 20s. And then, right. him and Claxton will split that without Ben Simmons being there. So I don't think Claxton will play more than 21, 22, and the rest will be Clowney. And he could run into more depending on what happens. If the game is a blowout or if Claxton looks a little gimpy, he could play more than that. Thoughts on Red Velvet Kevin Huerter on FanDuel at only 4,500.
I don't hate it. He definitely falls below the Warriors guys for me. Like if there wasn't all this Warriors value, I'd definitely end up with more of him. But I'm about 10% of him. Rerunning with Clowney, so that probably like docks the rest of these value guys a bit for me.
Totally agree. I'm at 9%, and it probably will go down after I lock Clowney. How many uniques? I'm going with 3 today on both sides. I usually go with 4 on FanDuel, but I'm going with 3 just because there's going to be, especially now that I'm locking Clowney. Actually, now that I'm locking Clowney on DraftKings, I'll dock it to 2 on DraftKings and go with 3 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think, if you're playing, say you're locking Moody and Clowney, I would definitely do 2. Like if you're playing like short field stuff, that's probably how I would approach it.
Favorite king of the court? I think Sabonis is the play on king of the court because everybody's going to take Jokic and Doncic, and he is a guy that racks up all stats, and I think that is probably the way to go.
I'll go with Ant.
Cameron Thomas, 69 points and nothing else.
I mean, that's definitely in the range of outcomes.
With Tracy,
that would be the most epic. That would be the most epic stat line of all time. Just 69 blank blank blank.
Yes. Anyone 3,200 to 3,700 in play. I have Zaire Williams at 7%, Gary Payton at 3%, and Moses Moody at 60%. So yes, Moses Moody is in
Moses
play.
Moody.
Already have 3 Warriors: Kuminga, Anderson, or Cam Johnson and Brown. I'm going with so that would be 5 Warriors. I wouldn't go 5.
Yeah, I'd go Cam Johnson, Brown in that situation.
I wouldn't go 5. Fox or Ant. I'm going with Fox.
I'm going with Ant, but it's super close. I just have a little bit more Ant than Fox here.
Fox.
Ant, Sabonis, or Jokic, Gobert. I'm going with Ant.
Ant, Sabonis for me.
Same.
We just asked that. Jokic a lock? No, I don't have. I'm less than 30%.
Yeah, I really like him tonight, and I'm getting like 30.
Yeah. Any combo with Clowney is now Clowney.
That covers that pretty succinctly.
Is Herb Jones a horrible play? Yes.
I'd find a different last piece.
Clowney. Kuminga or Keegan? Kuminga. We have Alex Lord, jiu-jitsu specialist. Who is Dan's super mega secret play?
Well, I don't have any secrets, man. Let me see. Anybody that we haven't talked about that I am high on in this run? I mean, I'm getting a good amount of CJ right now.
McCollum.
Yeah.
From Lehigh, the alma mater of Statsational, the Mountain Hawks.
You should do that as an announcer.
Say what?
You should do that as like an announcer. That was like your best. That was like your best worded segment, and like iterated.
Leaving $100 suboptimal. No. Who is Dan's MAGA play of the day? From Joe Rupp.
My MAGA play of the day. Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. I thought Statsational went to Alcorn State.
He did go to Alcorn State. I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, let me I'm gonna rerun my shit with Clowney right now as we're talking.
All right, Dan, here you get to work. Dan and I can bitch for a couple minutes.
Yo.
No, I don't leave money on the board in NBA. You can almost always upgrade. I think the most I would leave today is same as any other slate, 300 is what I have my salary floor set to.
Yeah, I've got mine leaving 200 at most.
Yeah. You're likely not going to do just because it's NBA. And yeah, it just helps your floor and your upside, in my opinion. Fox, MPJ, or Ant Camp Johnson. I'm going to go with Fox, MPJ there.
Same. Yes.
Ant Edwards and Julius Randle. I don't think that's a question. Nick Bosa locked and loaded. Hell yeah.
Get him in.
Can you do Fox and Sabonis? Yes. There's a world where they both get there, and it's definitely going to be weird. Dan, do you think Jiri is training in the woods right now?
Probably. He's probably getting infested with ticks right now. It's going to be sick as shit next time he goes to fight. I want that guy to go to a real gym, man. I want that more than anything right now.
Thoughts on Hawkins? We're pretty much fading him. Play at your own risk. Clowney seems like a lock today. Yeah, we're a lock. I think we are all kind of in agreement that we're going to lock Clowney. I kind of think he goes overlooked here now in the like with all the Warriors value that's been touted all day. So like this is the type of late pivot that I love to make when we get like a weird starter who has upside. Walker Kessler. I think that he has a good amount of upside. I'm going to have like 10 to 12%. I'm not going to let him like determine my night, essentially, or hopefully not. Clarkson or Washington, last piece on DK. Clarkson for me here. He won me $100,000 and I like him more than PJ. Randall versus Cam Thomas. I think we discussed this earlier. It's a slight lean towards Thomas, but I could see Randall. And like, if you're playing FanDuel, I would rather play Randall, but I assume this is a DraftKings question just because they play different positions. We still need the JBC conspiracy playback show. Our conspiracies will be fully out when he is done working. Is 2 Warriors not enough? I mean, I think the 2 Warriors is fine. I'm not forcing 3, but most of my builds just with all this value are going to end up with 3 to 4.
Yeah.
What does Mateo think of Braun? Mateo had a great soccer pick today. He loves betting against Schalke. I don't think they should be a franchise, but this is an NBA show, so he'll give an NBA take. He does not like Christian Braun.
Who is Braun's dating somebody famous now? Let me think about it.
Is he? Does he have aura now?
Gia Duddy. Will Levis's ex. The porn tape.
Oh wow.
Christian Braun is dating her now.
That's kind of swaggy.
Yeah, he's on the up and up.
All right, we're bumping him.
We're bumping him.
All right.
We're bumping him.
I just got done running, so maybe I'll have to get more. Shit.
Yeah, so I just switched. I just pivoted. I'm all in on Noah Clowney now with him starting. Pivoted the whole file. So DraftKings, my top 10 guys. I'll just run through the top 10 now. Clowney, Moody, Podziemski, Kuminga, Jokic, Hield, Fox, Keegan Murray, Tracy Jackson Davis, and Zion. FanDuel,
easy enough.
Clowney. Say what?
Easy enough.
FanDuel, Clowney, Podziemski, Moody, Kuminga, Fox, Edwards, Jokic, Hield, McCollum, and Markkanen. Let's see here. Cam Thomas or Laurie. I'm going with Laurie personally. Do you guys disagree?
I've got them both.
I like Laurie.
Schroeder or Heald got 900 left. You don't want to have 900 left over.
I would find a 2v2 and upgrade.
Yes.
Spend that money.
Heald or Cam Johnson. I prefer Heald.
Heald.
Yep.
Favorite 6.7. We keep doing the same thing.
Stop clicking.
Cam Thomas and Randall. I think Mark likes Cam Thomas a bit. I prefer Cam Thomas on DraftKings and Randall on FanDuel.
Okay, I need Gandalf's play of the day so I can lock it in. The Gandalf play of the day is now Noah Clowney.
After talking shit about him to start the show.
After we were talking shit about him. That's how the NBA works.
That's the NBA for you. You know, you really have to, like, just general NBA stuff. You know, you need to be able to change your opinion and not be like too locked in going into a slate. You want to be as nimble as possible compared to like any other sport.
Dan, what's your opinion on what Beanair just said here?
What do you say, Brian?
Brown apparently has a bump. Here, Will Levis got something.
Not sure what
puts mayo in his fucking coffee. I don't know how you can trust a guy like that. I saw that shit during the draft, and I was like, this guy is gonna fail.
Right. So the girl goes from fucking him to fucking Brown, and now he's saying he's got a bump.
I must have missed that. Will Levis got what does Will Levis got?
Are you saying that Will Levis has herpes?
Man.
Oh.
Probably. Will Levis sucks. Screw that guy. Yeah. I like Jokic and Randall. So do I, British Dan.
Thanks, British Dan. Dan versus British Dan.
All right, mate.
What is this orange ball shit? Clowney and Bosa locked.
Yes.
All right, love that. Just need 7 more plays. Well, I hope the rest of the show helped you with that. Nas Reed or Ant? GPP winner. Ant. I'm not playing much.
Tracy
much
or Draymond? Draymond.
Yeah. Draymond.
Sabonis
Money.
and Fox or Jokic and Gobert? Sabonis.
Yeah, Sabonis Fox for me.
Defer to you guys on.
Beanair confirms herpes for Christian Brown.
Okay, I'm bumping him back down.
Cam Johnson or Brown? Cam Johnson over Brown. As we just said, Brown's getting a doom here, not a boom. Brown's getting a doom here.
Yeah, I have like 4 times the amount of Cameron Johnson that I have Braun. So watch Braun be on like my winning lineup, and I have to listen to this playback tomorrow.
That's how it goes.
Any love for slow-mo?
Oh wait,
sorry,
go back.
I didn't see that.
Go ahead.
Any love for slow-mo? I think that's a good question. We liked him. We liked him as a pivot. I have way less now since
I have way less now too, because he's the same position as Clowney.
Yeah. So I still think he goes under-owned here. I don't mind the play. I'm just going to end up with less than I did.
I'm still getting like 13% slow-mo. So
yeah.
Will Levis versus Anthony Richardson careers from my good friend Alex. I mean, Anthony Richardson, guy's like 20 years old.
Benched.
I'd still take his career. Flacco's the GOAT. I would be upset. Like, Flacco's like, what, a top 15 quarterback in the league? I don't think there's any shame in getting benched for him. I think there's way more shame in getting benched for Mason fucking Rudolph.
I think showing off some like questionable intelligence. Like, you never admit that you got fucking gassed. You know, make up an excuse.
Especially because the next guy they were going to hand it off anyway.
He lost the locker room, which you cannot do.
Well, also, it's like
Mark also can't have an opinion about this because his team has Bryce fucking Young, and he's just salty about that.
Also, just play the next play. Like, he's had a lot of terrible snaps. It's not like that one would have been appreciably worse than what he's been putting on tape anyway.
Let's see here.
Is 3 Brooklyn too many? No, you can do that for sure. Cam Thomas, first quarter points. Don't hate that. Guy shoots every fucking possession. Hebrew Cheeto loves Keegan and Luca.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Heard no Aaron Gordon talk. We can talk about Aaron Gordon.
I don't think we talked about Aaron Gordon. I don't have that much.
No, I said we can talk about him. I mean, he's kind of like falls into like the Walker Kessler bucket for me. I know we were asked about him. Like, I'm going to be like 10%. I'm not like eliminating him from my pool, but I'm not going to have much. He's not a priority. FanDuel almost forcing you to play the Joker. Yeah, I ended up with a lot more of him after I locked Clowney. There's just like so much
after
value
Clowney.
now.
He's my highest center before Tracy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Schroeder, Keegan, or MPJ. Schroeder for me.
Schroeder.
Looney or Slow-Mo on DraftKings. I like Slow-Mo.
Anderson.
Yep.
Any interest with Conley at 4.4?
I spoke earlier about Conley's upside being limited. I'm not getting a ton. I'm probably going to be around 10%.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of him. I think it's kind of Clowney and the Warriors guys for me. Worst play ever. Not sure what you're referring to. Schroeder, yeah, we talked about him. I like him. Less love for Slow-Mo, but Clowney is slaying price. Yeah, that pretty much sums up.
I know this is tough for you, but you can play two guys who are the same price on the same line.
Are you allowed to?
Do you
have the hacks?
Allowed to do that.
Do you have the hacks? I think Mark has the hacks. I will never let you live it down when Broad rubs his bumply dangler all over the court. If Broad does that tonight and I lose, you're welcome to make fun of me for it tomorrow. I give you permission to do that, Brian.
Bryce is very gracious.
Does Jokic get a bump from Clowney starting? No. I mean, he gets a bump in terms of like you have more salary to play him.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with him being against him.
Bryce Young better than Will Levis? I think he might be. They're both ass. Keegan or Monk? Keegan.
100.
What's your percentage on Clowney? We are all 100. This is a pro Clowney show, and if it loses, I blame everyone on the show for talking me into him.
Yep. I blame JBC specifically.
I think Anthony Richardson goes to the Giants for a third. All right, enough football talk.
Bryce Young for Anthony Richardson, who doesn't know?
The Colts. Anthony Richardson has way more upside. You just want to get Bryce Young off your team to have all right.
Dan, thoughts on Colby Covington?
Dude sucks. Not a good fighter. Bad fighter.
AR been a bitch since Florida shot. They drafted him 4th. Yeah, but he's like 20 and has tons of upside. All right, I'm skipping all your NFL questions so we can get through all this stuff. Dennis Schroeder. I don't know how many times we have to answer these questions. I'm done answering questions about Schroeder. We like him. Sabonis Thomas versus Kuminga Jokic. Kuminga Jokic for me.
Yeah, Kuminga.
DeRozan a good pivot. I don't hate it. Like, I could see him being like the king that succeeds tonight, but I mean, I definitely have him ranked below Sabonis and Fox. Hield or Pods? Pods for me. If Hield starts, then Hield. I think you guys are agreeing there. Yeah. Fox Schroeder or Cam Johnson Sabonis. I'm going to go with Fox Schroeder.
Fox.
Cam Johnson or Braun. Cam Johnson.
Jokic
Kuminga or Sabonis Randall.
Kuminga.
I like Jokic Kuminga.
Yep.
We have no idea who Hebrew Cheetah is.
Who is? I don't know who that is.
If he's like some like scam betting tout, would be my guess. I hate all those people. Nas Reed, any. I have 2 out of 150 teams on FanDuel.
I'm at 3%. Yeah,
4%.
Edwards or Cam Thomas straight up. Ant? What kind of question is that?
Yeah, Edwards.
I don't play guys the same price. We know you don't, Benair. Maybe you'd have more success if you did. This is funny, though. I pick one and DM the other score. Okay, that's funny. I admit when you're funny, Benair. That's funny. Conley or Braun? Braun for me. There, we finally found one. How is the strategy different for high dollar versus small dollar? I mean,
It's not.
It's basically the same thing. You just have to create a dumb enough team to like where you're on an island with like 1 or 2 guys in the 3K. Like, I would like choose my favorite value plays, like choose like 1 or 2 weird plays, and then like optimize the rest.
All right. What I'll tell you about playing high stakes single entry is you play the chalk at the base. So you play your Noah Clowney, you play your Podziemski. All those guys will be between 80% and 100%. Play all of them. Don't try and fade it there. But then at the top, instead of playing Jokic, you would play Doncic. That kind of thing. You play something stupid at the top and then go chalk at the base.
Yeah, I would play like Ant Sabonis and like a Julius Randle with like Clowney and then the Warriors guys. I'm not playing any high stakes tonight.
Right.
But
3180, if I was playing tonight, I'm playing Doncic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea behind that, this is something JBC told me a long time ago, but it's like the higher someone's price and projection get, the more variant their performance is going to be.
Correct.
So swerve at the top, never at the bottom.
Dennis or Cam Thomas? Cam Thomas, not close in price though. Sexton, a good player? No. The Sex Man. I've been ending up on him too much this year, and I'm likely going to be over again. So yeah, I think he's a good play to like get off some chalk.
Yeah, he's
Keegan or Healed? Healed for me.
Healed.
Yeah, Healed.
Mangone or Clowney?
I'll take everybody over Mangone.
British Dan. The thing with Jokic, he doesn't have
With
great
Jokic.
shooters around him.
The thing with Jokic.
And I think it hurts his triple-double upside. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I no.
Hey, he's still the best.
He doesn't
player.
have greater shooters around him. Michael
player.
Porter Jr. has the best jump shot in the league.
I do think they have a lack of spacing around him a bit, but I don't really.
Brown
think
and Michael Porter. I don't know.
I don't really think it matters. Great show, great advice. Love the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing the show. For those of you who haven't, we really do appreciate it. Do I pay up from Brown to Moody or leave 900 on the board? I never leave 900.
Do not leave the salary.
Either use the money or fix your team.
There we go, Dan. Read that one.
Kobe Covington, great fighter, better person. He might be a better person than fighter. So take from that what you will. Dude fucking sucks.
Why would AR go to the Giants being there when they have Daniel Jones the GOAT?
Danny Dinars.
Oh, Danny Dimes didn't show up for us last night. I now hate him.
He never fucking does.
Bryce, do you like Schroeder? Yes. I hope this is sarcastic. Do you expect Clowney to get 25 plus minutes? I think we predicted him mid to high 20s. I had him at 28 personally. Mr. 3000 meet Mr. 300. Hell yeah, Adam. Just got off work. Are the main plays Golden State Warriors and Brooklyn guys? Yes. Yeah. Clowney and the Warriors are the best plays on the slate. Am I dead fading Joker and my biggest spend is Ant? No. That can 100% work out today. I'm higher on Jokic than I was to start the show just because I have more money in general to spend now with Clowney.
Yeah, I'm getting a ton of him now.
Schroeder and Sabonis or Jokic and Braun? I would go Schroeder, Sabonis.
Schroeder, Sabonis.
If Clowney fails tonight, which one of you is king of the clowns? I'm going to blame Mark because he said he was the first one to lock him. But if you do that, Mark also gets props when he's the stone fucking nuts. So it works both ways.
Yep.
Any Trevor Noah coin?
No,
fuck that guy.
Him.
He works for Ship It. I don't know who that is. Cam Robinson traded from Jags to Vikings.
The tackle?
Really?
That's actually a good trade.
That's huge. Cam Robinson's a stud. I love that dude.
And their tackle just tore his leg.
I'm not sure. It's Binaire, though. I'm not sure if he's serious. Hebrew Cheetah is Taylor Mattis's burner. No comment. Okay. Stop sending messages here because I'm just going to start clicking on all of them. Fave Warriors in order or wait for lineups in Discord. I think we've answered this plenty of times, but, if you want to go through it again more. Pods.
Yeah, Pods, Kaminga, Moody, Healed.
I like Buddy over Cam Johnson.
Yeah,
they're always funny. I mean, Binaire, he fires a lot. So it's like his hit rate is not that high, but there's always something funny going on.
Yeah, this is a classic quantity over quality situation.
I don't know that 80% Schroeder is too much. I like the play, so whatever, just fucking go.
If you're playing like 20 max, I think it's fine. If you're playing 150 teams, I think that's a little bit of overkill, but I like Schroeder today.
Kuminga. Clowney. Pod. We don't like Looney. Jackie Davies has a lot of upside. Randall. Thanks, chums.
Hell yeah, mate.
Michael Porter Jr.'s main downside. All of his siblings are in jail.
Really? That makes me like him more.
MPG ever Kuminga stupid? Yes. Bryce, Schroeder, or Jokic?
Schroeder, of course.
Over Jokic?
Yeah. No, it's Jokic. That
Jay McDaniels or Brown. Jaden McDaniels sucks other than defense. Ant or Fox. Ant. Can you play Moody and Hield together? Yes. Prefer Sabonis over Ant? Yes. Hield or Kessler? Hield. C. Johnson or Naz? C. Johnson. It's true. Trade just happened. Fuck you. Fox or Edwards? Edward. No Jamal Murray. Not a lot. He was probable with the injury. He might smash, sure. How much? Cam Thomas, 20%. Yom Kippur, Goyim. Schroeder. No idea. Cheers, great show. Thanks. Healed. Cam. And we're locked. Well, we're about to be locked.
2 minutes. Fox, Murray, or Ant Hield? Ant Hield.
Ice Spice or Sexy Red? Dan.
Ooh, Ice Spice.
I know who Ice Spice is, and I don't know who Sexy Red is, so I think you have to go with Ice Spice.
Ice Spice is hotter than Sexy Red.
There you go. Always right.
Healed. Cody Williams starting. That's going to cause a fucking issue if that's fucking true. Or are you lying?
It is.
Not true.
No, it's true. Yeah. All right. Well, do we need to stay on until the Utah lock just to discuss this?
I mean, the Utah lock's 9 o'clock. I'm not staying on for another hour.
All right. Fuck all of you. We're gone.
Yep. Good luck tonight.
Peace.